So if there's one company that's been really quiet during the whole Bud Light debacle, it has to be the company that was actually in charge of being the ad agency for Dylan Mulvaney. That company hasn't really said too much considering what's been going on with Bud Light and now Target, especially that company has said basically nothing. But now apparently, according to an inside source, that company is in actual panic mode because of what happened with Dylan Mulvaney. We have an article here from the New York Post that says ad agency that tapped Dylan Mulvaney for Bud Light and is in serious panic mode, according to their inside source. So we're going to get into this article, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, before we do, just consider giving this video a like to push us out into the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing because we're on our way to 24,000 subscribers. It says an 8-year-old marketing firm out on San Francisco was responsible for Bud Light's partnership with Dylan Mulvaney, and the disastrous tie-up sent the firm into serious panic mode, the Post has learned. Captive 8, a San Mateo, California-based firm that pairs social media influencers with major consumer brands, is the outfit that introduced Anheuser-Busch to the 26-year-old transgender grifter, resulting in a viral TikTok video that has since become a textbook case of marketing gone wrong, sources close to the situation said. I'm not surprised that these corporations are based in California. You know what I mean? Like, social media influencers are probably a dime a dozen in California. They're everywhere, and it would not shock me that they're based in California. So, of course, it takes a company like this to try to be the middleman, essentially. That's what they are, be the middleman for people like the grifter Dylan Mulvaney and trying to tie them to Alyssa Hernerscheid over at Bud Light, and that's essentially what started this whole debacle. It says nationwide backlash over the video, which unleashed a firestorm when it was posted April 1st, showing Mulvaney holding a Bud Light while taking a bubble bath, sparked anxiety and confusion inside Captive 8's offices during the initial days of the controversy, according to a source with knowledge of the situation. There was a lot of chatter among employees about what blowback the firm might face over the botched campaign, according to the source. Now, keep in mind, people, when it comes to these companies, right, most of them think that a lot of people are down for this stuff, right? They push God knows how much woke shit out throughout that company, right? Like, you got to imagine that this is probably not the first super woke transgender ad that they had. This company, Captive 8, has probably done an ungodly amount of woke ads in their lifetime, in their 8 years, but this particular one was different. And so, of course, because it was different, they are starting to have a little bit of a panic mode because they're shocked, they're confused. Like, why are people not eating this up? I don't understand. It's progressive, it's liberal. Like, what you guys should be eating this up. You should love this. Yeah, like, why is this not working? Of course, it's going to cause panic because they're not used to that. They're not used to that level of backfire, and they definitely got a massive amounts. It says internally the company was in serious panic mode, the source added. It couldn't immediately be learned whether Captive 8, which claims to have a database of more than 1 million influencers on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Wow. 1 million people. 1 million. That is insane. Was also responsible for the now infamous Bud Light beer can that bore Mulvaney's image. It also wasn't clear whether the Captive played a direct role in producing Mulvaney's TikTok video. Captive 8 didn't respond to repeated requests for a comment. Now, why would they? Why would they? They don't want to admit that they were the ones that got Dylan Mulvaney into this whole debacle. Why would they want to admit that? Because imagine all the other transgender influencers that probably work with Captive 8 that most likely live in California, because most of them do. Like, why would they want to be associated with the whole debacle regarding Dylan Mulvaney? Of course they're going to want to separate themselves. That only makes sense, in terms of the public eye. It says co-founded in 2015 by Krishna Subramanian, a Silicon Valley investor who sold online ad network Blue Lithium to Yahoo in 2007 for $300 million. Captive 8 has worked with Walmart, American Express, Twitter, and Kraft Heinz, according to its website. Subramanian has also made himself available for media interviews as an expert on influencer marketing. I'm assuming it's this guy right here. He looks about worth $300 million. In February, he spoke to the Wall Street Journal about the importance of viral videos around blockbuster ad events, including the Super Bowl. The best way to think about TikTok is that it's a vehicle that takes a consumer to the checkout line, Submarinian told the paper. And I mean, that's pretty much true. Listen, viral videos have its place in society, and they definitely, if you know how to utilize them, and if you could create a truly viral video, that will push your brand farther than anything else by far. It's been proven. And yeah, I mean, the guy obviously knows what he's talking about, and he's going to make a lot of money doing so, obviously, as he has. A 2-minute video on Captive 8's website depicts a tour of a swanky office where influencers like Zion Clark, an athlete who was born without legs, is seen pumping iron, and Olivia Sui, a Chinese-American actress, tells viewers that there are over 30 million creators on Captive 8's marketplace to discover. But that's just a staged advertisement, according to a source, who said said Captain 8's real office is a small space in San Mateo that can accommodate about a dozen staffers. Most of the company's 100-odd employees work remotely. I'm not surprised in the slightest. Listen, we've seen so many videos come out from Silicon Valley that showcase how comfortable these tech jobs are, right? Like, they are so unbelievably comfortable, and a lot of them were complaining about having to go back to the office to work. Remember when that was a thing? When the lockdown stopped and people were forced to go back? They were all complaining like, oh my God, what about work-life balance? Like, nah, you got spoiled, bro. But look, of course, 100+ odd employees working remotely, I'm not shocked in the slightest, and only having a dozen staffers in the office at any given time, yeah, that sounds about right. And listen, in terms of overhead, it's probably a lot cheaper for these companies to obviously make people work remotely because they don't got to worry about having big offices anymore. They don't got to worry about overhead supplies, anything like that. It allows them to save money in that aspect. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Captain 8 appears to have returned to business as usual following the initial panic set off by Mulvaney crisis, according to the source. Bud Light parent Anheuser-Busch InBev, which also didn't respond to requests for comment because they never do, has been tight-lipped on the origins of the ill-fated Mulvaney campaign. The company placed 2 executives, Alyssa Hernerscheid, the vice president of marketing, and her boss, Daniel Blake, on leave in April. After the firestorm erupted, the Belgian-based conglomerate told distributors that Mulvaney's beer can was not produced by Anheuser-Busch or at any of its facilities, and that it had fired the third-party ad agency that was behind the Mulvaney video, several distributors told the Post. So they fired Captivate, essentially. That's the company that was behind all of this, and they got fired because, obviously, it cost them billions upon billions of dollars. It is a drastic media firestorm, the likes of which we haven't seen in such a long time, and I hope we see it more with other companies. I don't just want it to be Bud Light and Target. I want all of these corporations to feel the fear that the consumer has, like the power the consumer has with their dollar. I want them to feel that fear. I want them to realize that by making these decisions, they are running the risk of losing billions of dollars, and that is not going to make it very easy for them to make the choice, which is why we have so many corporations actually not putting up Pride profile picture logos in their Twitter and social media profiles, which is interesting. A lot of them definitely did it last year, and some of them have been caught not doing it this year. So it makes you wonder how the climate is right now. It says ad agencies send out hundreds of influencers kits a year, some of which have a customized can included. This was one of those situations, a distributor based in Texas told the Post in April, relating one of Anheuser-Busch's talking points. In August, Anheuser-Busch retained Anomaly, a New York ad firm that has produced Super Bowl ads, as the creative agency for the Bud Light brand. A spokesperson for Anomaly said it was not involved in any way with the Dylan Mulvaney campaign for Bud Light. So it looks to be very clear that everybody and their mother in this corporation is trying to separate themselves from Dylan Mulvaney because the backlash has been so drastic that they are just not wanting to even be in the same sentence as Dylan Mulvaney. But ultimately, at the end of the day, people are not stupid. We know exactly what you did, and it's only going to get worse as we start to compare the numbers in the summer months. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.